Happy Sunday, stampers and paper crafters. This is Facebook Live number 363. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have a beautiful card for you tonight, and I am going to put you down to the table, and if you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I think that's it. All right, so hold on. Okay. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I am going to loosen this up and swing you on down. Whoa, it's getting stuck. There we go. Sorry about that. And we're going to tighten it up a little bit here. And get this situated. All right. I have too much stuff on my desk. Not enough space. Okay, I think that'll work. All right, we'll squish in. There we go. Get some more light on the subject. Are we straight? I don't think it's crooked, is it? Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so again, my name is Joy Borwedge, and I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy, which has been updated. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. The new host code is YANXMXHU. You can use that host code when you have an order that is under $150. When you have an order that is over $150, do not use that host code because I want you to receive the free benefits. penguinz33@outlook.com is my email address. So if you do not have a demonstrator that you're working with, I can send you this catalog, which happens to be the Holiday Mini, and we have the annual catalog. Now, like I said, if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to send these to you. Today's card is going to be actually coming out of the Holiday Mini catalog, and we're going to be playing with the Season of Elegance. Now, the Season of Elegance is a gorgeous, sweet collection. And what that means is that there are a variety of things that coordinate with each other that Stampin' Up! Put together so that they you can buy one suite and then get together and make cards. So this one happens to be a mega suite, and that means is that there's a stamp set and a die and another stamp set and a die, and these two coordinate with each other, so I'm actually going to be playing with both of those. Now, when it's called a suite collection, we have an easy number. It's called the easy number. Got to have it all. And so that happens to be 164030, and that's 154.75, and that's everything in this suite, one of each. Plus, you save the 10% off when you when you purchase the dies and the stamp set together. So you will save 10% off of this bundle and 10% off of that bundle. This designer series paper is absolutely stunning. The only thing we will actually not be playing with is the folder and the ribbon. So we'll be playing with these two stamp sets, the gems, and the I should say dots, and then the designer series paper. All right, so let's get looking at a couple things that are coming up. Right now, my friend and I, Heidi and I, are putting together an event that is at thevirtualevent.com, and what that is you can sign up and register. We will mail you 8 packets, and now they are not. We cannot stamp any images. So what happens is we actually do a lot of die cutting, and we put the cards together, and then you provide the sentiments. And if you do happen to have the stamp sets, you can certainly embellish as you go. Now, that is Saturday, November 23rd. And what we do is we record 4 videos from me, 4 videos from Heidi, and then we play those. And then that way somebody could say, hey, slow down, please. And we pause it. And then if they have a question, then we can pause it. And then that way it'll go a lot quicker. If there's a major mistake, we can actually fix it by doing the video over again. And that way it's not much pressure when you have people watching you on the Zoom. Now, if you cannot make it the 23rd and hang out with us on the Zoom, we're actually going to be sending out the videos to everyone after the virtual event happens. And so that way, if you don't get something done, if you're not able to stay with the whole time, you can complete your cards at your convenience. So that is a great time. And also it's going to maybe show you how to do maybe something different or give you different ideas. But check that out. And we have, as long as you are in the United States, we'll be happy to mail you a packet. Now, November 5th is coming up, and so please check out the online exclusives then, because that's when the Utterly Adorable Suite Collection is going to be live. Now, this is the card that I featured, and Myth making that card, or using that set, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And we also have other online exclusives that are coming up. Now, this here is called, let's see here. Oops. Keep on grabbing the wrong one. It is called the Marbled Elegance Suite Collection. Now, if you make Valentines, if you do a lot of work with reds, pinks, this is the suite for you. And now it's not necessarily just Valentine's Day. It could be wedding, it could be anniversary, it could be birthday, it could be just because you love somebody. Now, this designer series paper does not do it justice. There is gold foil in every sheet, and the back side, now that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to use, only one thing has hearts on it on the back. Everything else could be used for different reasons, and it doesn't necessarily say feminine. They're the stripes here. You can use that on a masculine card. So that is available November 5th. Now, another bundle, it's called the Happy Hibiscus Bundle. That actually has a hybrid embossing folder that goes with that. So that is a lot of fun to play with. So check that out November 5th. The Changing Leaves Bundle. Now, this is another hybrid embossing folder. So what that means is there is a stamp set, a set of dies, and a folder that you can actually put the dies in the folder, emboss it, and cut it out at the same time. So that is a lot of fun to play with. Now, one of the things that's been going on with Stampin' Up! Since September, I believe, was the Season of Green and Gold suite and collection. And this is another mega because there are 2 stamp sets and 2 dies that coordinate with that. And the designer series paper is absolutely gorgeous. And now I think the Cherry Cobbler and Pearl Berries have just come back, but check that suite out in the online exclusives. It's a lot of fun. Now, just because it is getting into the holiday season, don't forget that the online exclusive have other things than just featuring the holidays. The Flower Zinnia suite is available in the online store, and I have done several Facebook Lives with that. Then the Encircled in Nature bundle. Now, a bundle, like I said, when you purchase a stamp set with the dies, it saves you 10%. So the Encircled Nature bundle is pretty as well. And so that is in the online exclusive. Now, this one, if you like to celebrate or like make cards for a lot of the celebrations, this is a really great suite for you, just because the Iconic Celebrations is a 6x6 designer series paper, and you get 48 sheets. And so what that means is a lot of celebrations are represented. It's like my words just stopped. But you got Christmas and Valentine's Day, and like this one right here with the pine cones, either pine cones or Christmas trees. that doesn't necessarily say Christmas. It could be winter. I mean, it could be a guy's birthday. Now, the fireworks here could be New Year's. It could be anniversary. So a lot of the celebrations are in this specific suite collection. And so check that out. And that one is done. So we'll take that one and we'll use that for scrap paper later. So I have a beautiful card tonight. Hi, Judy. Welcome. And we're going to be using the Season of Elegance. Now, if you have the holiday mini catalog, you can open up to page 25. So we are going to be using the Peaceful Evergreens, and that coordinates with the Peaceful Evergreens dies. And this is a 2-pager because it couldn't fit all the dies on one page. And this is a distinctive stamp set. So if you look at this, you could see that there is variations of color. And so that way, you want to make sure that when you do use this, that you don't have a really juicy ink pad. So you could certainly use, I'm going to show you that technique by using the spoon and kind of pushing that ink down, so then that way you can have a better inked up image for what it's supposed to be. And then we're going to be using the Peaceful Season stamp set and dies. So again, when you purchase the stamp set and the dies together, you save the 10%. Now, when you purchase the whole suite collection, you save 10% on both of those stamp sets and dies. So that's awesome. Now, we're not using the embossing folder, the 3D embossing folder. This is called Painted Trees. Now, we're not going to be using that one tonight, but we are going to be using the Designer Series paper. And this is, I have to say, absolutely gorgeous. One side has gold foil, and the other side has kind of brush strokes. And Stampin' Up! Has made it so that everything coordinates with each other. So you can have Basic Bays, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Gray Granite, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, Real Red, and Gold Foil. And those all coordinate with each other. So we're going to be using some of that tonight. Now, this ribbon is going to be coming back in. So the suite collection will not be available right now. But if you want to punch in all the item numbers and then come back and get your ribbon later, go ahead and do that. Now, let me show you the card that we're going to be doing. This is actually kind of a simple, elegant card. We're going to be using Crumb Cake, and this is the card that we're going to be making. And this is the card that you will get a chance to win. Now, I'm not going to show you the inside because there's going to be some different techniques here using this card, but it looks pretty simple. But it's very easy to recreate and very elegant. Okay, so let's get our pieces out. I'm going to take a drink for just a second here. Okay, never mind. I'm having a strawberry margarita, and it tastes quite yummy. All right, so here are the measurements for everything that we're going to be using. Okay, so this is a piece of crumb cake. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. And now I do this just because if you wish to come back and say, that card was really cool, I'm going to recreate that card, but using what I have. This way you will have the measurements and you can cut it, pause it, and get it ready to go. All right, so this is that 2-sided Designer Series paper, and that is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Again, another piece of that Designer Series paper, which is 2 by 3 3/4. This is a piece of Mossy Meadow, and this is 3 3/4 by 1 1/2. Actually, a lot of these are scraps, but I did decide to just put measurements on them. Okay, this is a piece of Very Vanilla, and it is 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. This is the inside piece, and it goes, let's see here. This is 4 by 3 3/4. And this is our card base. So it's crumb cake. And so it's actually a half a sheet of cardstock. It is 11 inches by 4 1/4. And then I scored it on my Simply Score tool at 5 1/2. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit there for a few seconds. So that way you can see what we're using. And then you can come back in and, let's see, just get it in so you can see it better. Pause it, give you enough time to pause it, get your stuff cut, and then come back and make it. Okay, so, I mean, if you don't already have this sweet, you need it. Okay, let's take all these pieces off. Now, this card I designed today, and I had a thing in mind, and I started going with it, and I'm just like, it doesn't hit me well. And so I went back in and I changed it. And so that's why it took me so long to come on tonight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's see here. This is, we're going to stamp on that, and we're going to die cut that. And we're going to put that die cut. Well, no, not really anything. We're going to die cut this piece. And die cut this piece, and we're going to stamp and die cut. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to stamp some stuff, and then we're going to die cut some stuff. Okay, so this piece right here, we're going to die cut, not right now, but we're going to come back and stamp on it. So we're just going to get that ready. I just kind of want to get my pieces so I don't forget anything. This one, we're going to actually stamp in Mossy Meadow. And now, because this is a photopolymer, I'm actually going to grab my Stampin', sorry, what's that called? It's been a long day. My Stampin' Pearson mat. See? I knew it was going to come to me eventually. All right, so we're going to stamp Christmas in Mossy Meadow. And then we're just going to put that down there. We're going to allow that ink to transfer. And now there was a piece of kitty fuzz. So now we're going to flip that over and we're going to do the same thing. Make sure Isabel's not on there. I have never seen a cat shed so much as Isabel. Okay. Now it's like, how in the world do you have any fur left? Okay, so now we're gonna die cut that with Christmas. So I'm gonna get my die ready for that. Okay, and then let's see here. We are going to stamp our greeting on the inside of this. And that is going to say, wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. And that's going to go Carolyn, I see you. And we're just going to leave that sit right there. All right. Okay, so then we're going to clean that off. And then we are going to put that over there. And we're going to close this ink pad up. And we're going to grab crumb cake. Now, you could certainly use Versamark, but I'm just going to use crumb cake. This is tone-on-tone stamping. And I am just going to do the 3 trees down here. Just like that. All right, so that is the inside. And okay, I think we're good for now. We're going to stamp some stuff later. Okay, so I'm going to get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but first, before we do that, I am going to clean my images, just because I like to clean off my blocks as I go. And the reason why is because if I drop something, I don't want it to hit an inked up image, because that would royally tick me off. And also because the longer you leave ink on photopolymer, the more likely it will stain. And so I do not wish to have it turn any more colors than it already is. All right, so I'm going to go get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're going to put that stuff out of the way. Okay. Let's see. Do I need to move that? I'm going to move that up just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So this one, this is the front part of the card. And I am going to put this smack dab in the middle. And, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it down here. Okay. And I'm just going to do this one by itself. Okay, I'm just going to move that out so I can grab this a lot easier. Okay, so now this is the front part of our card. So we just made a hole in the front of our card. But the reason why I wanted to do that is because we're actually going to use that piece. I don't want to throw it away. So gosh darn it. I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to do it on the other one. I knew something was wrong. Gosh darn it. All right. So, crumb cake. I'll just use that for another card, but just not this one. I have an idea, so. We'll get the Simply Score tool out. So this one is the one that we're actually supposed to cut out. Oh well. See, like I said, I designed this card earlier, and you know, when you design something and it's like, I don't like that, and then you try something else, it's like, ooh, I like that. Well, that's how this went, and so I just kind of forgot what I was really doing. Grr. Okay, so then this is going to say Christmas. And now this one, I really like the fact that you can stamp this image out. Cut it. You could die cut it out. Or, now I just moved it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a Post-it note on it so it stays. But then you could do just like what I'm doing now, cut it out and then kind of make it a hole. And so then put something behind it. So you could read the word Christmas, but it could be something pretty on the underside. All right, so I think I got that. So there we go. And then we're just die cutting this piece out because we're going to heat emboss on it. And I would prefer to just have the image that I'm stamping done afterwards, because I don't want to take a chance of it smearing, cutting off, you know, something wrong. Oops, sorry for the shaking of the table. Okay. So then, okay, so that is the part that we're really supposed to cut out. And then, so this piece we're actually going to use. We're going to take this small, what I call the skeleton of the tree, and we're going to put that back in there. We're going to use this. That's the part that we're supposed to cut the hole out of. And so then now I could keep that. Look at how nicely it cuts that Christmas out. And all the parts are out of there, so I don't need to push anything out. Then we're going to die cut, or sorry, now that this is die cut, we can heat emboss on that. And so that comes from that set. Oops, okay, so then now we're going to take this. And so we're going to use this piece. And then we're going to use this skeleton. Now this is the smallest one, and this is the medium one. And that's going inside there. I think I got it all. Okay. So this piece is going to be cut out. Now you could take this and certainly you could use it as a sponge, like a stencil, but I'm not gonna, I don't need to. Okay, so then now we're gonna take these two pieces and put them through our die brush. My Simply Score tool is one of my most used tools, along with my Take Your Pick tool. Now this is a Take Your Pick tool with the die brush adapter on it. Now you can buy the Take Your Pick tool separately, or you buy the Take Your Pick tool and then you buy the die brush, but I have two of them. So then that way I'm not constantly taking the head off and unscrewing it. So this way I have one ready to go. Okay, so this is the crumb cake piece that came out of here, so we don't want to throw that away. Now this is trash, and I could either throw that away now or just leave that sit there and throw that away the next time I do it. But I like to keep mine enclosed, and then that way Lewis is no longer around. That's the reason why I have to keep anything. Whoops, there's a couple pieces in there. You could do that with your dies too and whack them against your glass mat and then throw that away. Okay, so then now we're going to put things together. And oops, I need to get out my Simply Score tool because I made a boo-boo. You know, what's stamping without making a mistake? You know what I mean? This way, you know that Joy does it too. Okay, so we're going to take this, line it up, and then we're going to take the bone folder, oops, and just give that a nice crease on both sides, because that's the way I do it. All right, so then now, Sherry, hi. Yes, you got a lot of Happy Mail. You are quite welcome. You know, that's what happens when you watch my Facebook Lives and you do a heart and a thumbs up. That gets you entered. And then if you leave a comment, that gets you entered. And then if you share this on your timeline, that gets you entered 2 times. So you do that and you win free prizes, which is the card that I demonstrated for that particular Facebook Live. And I have more coming, but I just put a whole bunch into on Instagram. So now I have more to do. Okay, so this is the background of that paper. And so what we're going to do is we're going to lay this up on top. So this was a 1/4 inch smaller. So then that way it gives us enough space so that you don't have to sit there and really work hard at getting that in there. Okay, so then now the die, or sorry, we're going to put dimensionals on the back side. And Carolyn, you should be getting some Happy Mail. And I think Judy is scheduled for Happy Mail too. So all my winners are on here now. She got her card too. Cool. Oh, good. All right. So I am using the outside edges of my card. Okay, so then now, let's see here. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, stab and grab those little puppies at a slight angle, and all I have to do is then put them in the trash. And let's not chance it. We got one more. Let's just do it that way. Okay. So then now we're going to put the tree on here. And there we go. All right. Good night, Sherry. Sleep well. Okay. So then this piece right here, we're going to actually ink up with the largest tree. I don't know why I picked the largest tree, just because I wanted to make sure I got everything. So we're just going to lightly tap there, and then we're going to stamp the image on our tree, just like that. Okay. All right. And then we're going to put that off to the side, and then we're going to clean our inked up image. Okay, and just going to clean that with our chamois. This is the biggest tree. I'm going to flip that over and get the other side. And then, okay, so seeing as how we made a boo-boo, and we had to start new. Let's put our line of trees in the bottom. Again. Ah, darn it. This is Versamark. I did not want to use Versamark, so I'm going to clean that off. I want it in, because Versamark is a watermark pad, and it's also used with embossing, which we're going to be doing. So you want to test out what your Versamark looks like compared to your ink pad if you're looking for a certain color. If you want something darker, sometimes Versamark is darker, sometimes the ink pad's darker. So just check that out. Okay, so then now we are going to clean this one off, because now we're done with it. And that was tone on tone, using the crumb cake. And then now, let's see, what are we gonna do? Okay, we're gonna take a piece of scrap paper, and we're gonna get out the embossing buddy, and we're gonna just like this, and then we're gonna tap it on our little tree, This is our crumb cake tree that we stamped on. And then we are going to take these snowflakes and we are going to ink that up in Versamark on our tree. Then we are going to lay that in our tray. This is the embossing kit editions. Now I'm going to go and clean that off because, like I said, Versamark is very sticky, and so I want to make sure that I get that quickly on there and just let it soak. And then I'm going to take my Wow Gold embossing powder and we are going to flick that onto the little tree. And we're going to grab that. And we should have a little bit of gold spots here and there. All right, so I'm just going to move that over to the side. And I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Finish cleaning off my, whoops, came right off. Not gentle. All right, and so then now we're going to grab the heat tool and I'm going to take a drink. Hi. All right, so I'm going to heat this up. And so hopefully, what I should do, I'm just going to maybe hold it more in the center there. And that way it won't bend as much. And then maybe you could see the changing of the gold. There we go. Now it's heating up nicely. And we're just recreating the same style as we had with the Designer Series paper. So if you run out that Designer Series paper, you can always recreate it. Now this is the reverse tweezers, which I really, really like. So you could see you got a little bit of gold in there. And so you got crumb cake, mossy meadow, and gold. All right, so I'm going to put that gold embossing powder back in the jar once I get done. You guys don't need to see how to put it back in. Okay, so this is going to go on the inside of the card. That's going to go in here. All right, I'm going to move that for a second, grab my silicone mat, because when I use my liquid Tombow glue, I like to make sure that I just do little tiny dots, or when I have small spaces and I'm trying to put adhesive on, these things, this silicone mat, this craft mat is just amazing. So the Take Your Pick tool, the craft mat, glass mat, all great tools to have. All right, so I am going to stick that. Where do I want to grab it so I'm not going to get all gluey? Okay. And I'm just going to lay that down at the bottom and put that up. Okay, I'm going to flip it over and then burnish that so that if any of the glue kind of squirts out, then it's not going to get on there. Okay, and then we're going to put this on the inside of the card. And I know we have one more thing to heat emboss, which is the greeting for the outside of the card. Okay. And then, so this is going to say, let's put it on the white. Let's ink that up. Now we're going to get the Versamark again. And it's going to say Christmas. And then this is saying is in the air. So that is going to go right there. And then I'm thinking I don't know if I have enough in here. I think, well, maybe no. Probably not. I'll just take it and dump more on there. It doesn't matter. Oh, I forgot to do the embossing buddy on this one. Oh well. Hopefully. Because it's such a small piece, you want to make sure that you're holding it properly so you're not going to burn yourself, because that heat tool pretty warm. Okay, so actually no, I'm going to get this back in here, close up my lid, and I'm going to just brush off any excess if I need to, because once it's heated up, it's there. Okay. Just a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. So let's move this out of the way and we'll heat that up. This will go really quick. Because number one, the heat tool is already warm, and number two, it's not that big of a piece. I mean, look at how quickly that's turning. All right, and then always do the front and the back, and you are done. Woohoo! Okay. Very nice. Okay, so did I clean that off? I don't think I did. I don't like to leave the Versamark on my photopolymer because then it's tacky and whatever is floating in the air will stick to it. So, okay, we are done with that. And so then all we have to do is put dimensionals on the back there. And so we'll get some minis and we'll cut some pieces. Okay, so let's see. Just grab my take your pick tool and just position where I can put a spot. This is going to be the hardest part of this card, is putting tiny pieces on here. You know, I probably could have done is use the foam, but the adhesive foam and die cut, but I have not used that to cut out the whole sheet. Let's see here. Trying to use it in the best spot for the size that I chopped up. All right, one more, I think. This is chunky, I think. We'll see. All right, so let's take the backings off. Now, if you don't have fingernails, take your pick tool is a great tool. Now, if you have something like this that's kind of small, poke it in the middle and it'll kind of come up at the end, and then that'll grab it, just because these are kind of tiny. Now, remember the game Operation? I was pretty good at that game. Here we go. Come on. I need another small piece. Oops. Put it right there. Just get out of the way. All right. And this is going to go right in the middle there. Okay, so now there's a piece of white. Just going to poke that back in. There we go. Now we can't see it. Neener, neener, neener. Okay, and then, oops, wrong spot. We're going to take that. Okay, the little backings do not want to come off the silicone mat. Okay, fine. Okay, now, okay, now that's funny. Then I have, okay, so that's what that looks like. And then now we're going to take, I should have kept that craft mat out. And then we're going to put adhesive on the C and the last part. And that is going to go right across there. And then this is going to go right across there. And then we are going to get out these embellishments, which are the golden textured adhesive backed dots. And we're going to put one down there. One down there. So that's 2. 3. 4, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we're going to take the Wink of Stella, and we're going to do the chunky parts of the greeting. I really, really like this set. I hope it moves over and doesn't retire. Because the greetings, I mean, the trees don't necessarily say Christmas. I mean, it'd be the whole winter. And, I mean, we live in Minnesota. Our evergreens are green all year long. Unless they lose their leaves, and they're supposed to do that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Okay, so there we go. And then the inside of the card, we are going to take that and wipe that on a piece of scrap paper. And we're just going to kind of hit the tree. Okay, and then now we're going to do the trees down at the bottom. And we're just going to take our Wink of Stella and we're just going to kind of dab. I mean, isn't that pretty? That little sparkle in there. Okay, so that is our card for the day. So what do you think? Okay, so that is a card. And that's the inside. Thank you, Judy. Okay, so if you would like to get a chance to win this card, all you need to do is a thumbs up or a heart. That gets your name entered. If you leave a comment, that gets your name entered. And if you share this on your timeline, that will get you entered 2 times. Now, sharing helps me get my name out there, and also might inspire any of your crafting friends by seeing this video. And maybe there might be a technique that they've not seen before, or maybe they haven't touched their crafting supplies in a long time, and seeing this video might inspire them. So thank you very much. Thank you, Carolyn, for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I hopefully will be back on Thursday with another fun project. Take care, everyone, and happy stamping!